Okay, well, welcome everyone. Today we're going to make some mischief with code, I hope, and make a start on steps 101 for coding. This is our last webinar. I'm going to make an announcement about what we'll be doing after this for this year. So let me just get my slides up and we'll move into starting the session. Okay, so you'll see there the link, Minecraft Code 1 on the page, bit.ly link. That's to the slides. Not that the slides are all that consequential this week, but there are a couple of links in there that you may want. And if you want to go back through anything we do tonight, you have the slides. And anyone watching this after the event, the slides will help you work through what we're doing. So, all right, so coding for beginners. I want to remind everyone that the recordings of our sessions, all Term 4 webinars, and there are 6 of them, are recorded inside. You can find the links inside our Teams space, but you can also get directly to it from that link discussion. As again, another reason to download the slides if you need them, remembering that link is bit.ly/Minecraft Code 1. So that's where all the recordings live for Term 4. And today we're going to make some mischief. We're going to make things happen in the world by using code. And I'm going to come back to that slide. I'm just going to go through the steps and then I'm going to open Minecraft and we'll go through them together. Just to make sure, I don't want to assume any level of expertise. And so that anyone coming in, whether it's you here now or anyone coming in to watch the video, can follow along. So the process we're going to go through is to log in and then go to play. You'll see if you're using the brand new version of Minecraft, which you can see on the bottom of this screen is version 1.14.50. It launched last week. I would have done tonight's session multiplayer, but I can't be sure what version everyone's running at the moment. So if you've got that new version, you'll see a 4th button on your screen now, which says Hour of Code. And that's focusing you in on the activities for the Hour of Code that are coming up in a few weeks' time. So we'll come back to that later. So you're going to go to play from your opening screen. You're going to create a new world because we're going to open a world just to explore our coding. And we're going to step through all of this. I'm just showing you the screens and then I'm going to go through and do it with you online. So we're going to create a new world. Now, when we create our new world, we're going to turn a few things on. We're going to name it, and I've just called mine Coding 101 or Coding something, so I'll remember it. This is from a previous screen, which was for developing a portal. You're going to set it to creative, just so we don't get killed during the course of our coding, and peaceful. And you want to make the world flat. We don't want any terrain to be in the way of what we're going to try and do. So we want a flat world. And we're going to turn on coordinates so we can see all the coordinates in the world. And I usually like to do that anyway, so I can see where I'm positioned. So all of that's quite important. And we're going to play the world. Now, let's get that happening. So I will share again, stop sharing and then go to share my Minecraft. So I hope in the meantime everyone has logged into Minecraft and got it happening. And this is being quite naughty. It's not showing my Minecraft as a shareable.
Hey, Bronwyn or Lauren, while Bron's just fiddling with some things, we're having huge problems at our school with some kids being able to sign in and others not. And the problem that they get is it says check internet connection, unable to sign in, check your internet connection. Internet connection is fine. It won't work on my personal iPad either. So I believe our staff proxy is mucking it up. But even on student iPads, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. They're having to sign in sort of 4 or 5 times before it does work. Do you have any ideas what that might be? Sorry, Lauren, I can't hear you.
Myself on mute because there was a truck going past a minute ago and forgot. I've heard a couple of people complain about this issue, and I suffer this myself. I've got to open on my PC in administrator mode for Minecraft to work, but what I would recommend that you do is raise a service desk request and send me the ticket number, because I've got a list of ticket numbers and I'm passing them back to the service desk and I'm asking them to raise the profile of the tickets to see what it is. I also know that for certain for students, you have to enable them to use Minecraft. So if they've not been enabled before on the system or they're new, that might be another reason why they can't get in.
Okay, yeah.
So it's just something to check.
Connect them to my phone and tether them from 4G. Then they can sign in with their account. It's simply our school's internet. And our local tech has had a look, can't figure it out. So, yeah, I'll certainly raise a ticket. That's great.
Okay.
Lauren, I've actually got the same issue happening now. I just tried to log into it and it won't let me sign in.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that it's not just me.
No, that's why I'm kind of chuckled, because I'm like, hello.
We had at least 2 other schools have the same problem at the end of last week, some of which was down to the upgrade of the update on on Minecraft, but some of it wasn't. So I think this might be a wider spread problem.
I think it sounds like a network issue, but I could be wrong. I'm not techie, so I'd have to pass this on to the techie people to work out what's not working.
I know that I'm at home at the moment, and my home connection is outstanding in terms of not very much downtime and lots of resources available. I am working on a school computer though, as opposed to a personal one. But yeah, I'm kind of. I don't think it's a network. I think it's an authentication issue.
Wow. Yeah.
If you're on a PC, Janine, I'm not sure if you are, but attempt to right-click on Minecraft and run in administrator mode. For some reason, that helps me to bypass that issue on my laptop.
Okay, I'll try it now.
I don't know, it's just a suggestion, but if not, then I would encourage you to raise a ticket. And if you pass on a number to me, I can certainly try and escalate that from my end.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we will.
Are you seeing my Minecraft screen?
I can see all your screenshots, Bron, and your pictures. Just like your files. I think it's sharing the
desktop files.
Lauren, can you run administrator mode on an iPad?
I don't know how. No, I'm not sure. I've not tried to do that. I can log into my iPad with no issues.
Yeah, okay.
Without having to do that.
Yeah, all right.
I quite often get the no internet connection error when the kids try to use the iPads, but not when we use the student laptops.
Yeah, I'm getting the same. iPads are really shocking, but that's all we've got. But if I use, like for instance, just now I've tried to sign in on my own personal iPad, which is connected to our staff network. Doesn't work, but I've used a school iPad, like a student iPad, and it works fine. So it's definitely for me, it's not an account thing; it's a network thing. But
it sounds like a proxy issue on your laptop.
So Lauren, I just tried to use the admin mode and get this complete same error. It's around sign in.
That's annoying. Yeah, I'm out of ideas. I'll certainly raise it though.
I'll play around and see if I can get it working on another computer. But yeah, just as an FYI.
Thank you. That's really good to know.
So are you seeing my Minecraft screen now?
No, sorry.
No, that's still your desktop files.
Teams is doing something quite strange.
Oh, is it on extend, where instead of duplicating your screen, it's made like a second screen? My interactive whiteboard does that sometimes. Is it like what you're seeing is different from what's being projected?
Yes.
If you can move your cursor across, you might be able to drag. That sometimes fixes it. I don't know. Or F5. Are you on a PC or a Apple? Mac. Oh, I don't know the shortcut for Mac. Sorry.
Function F5 still works, but it's still when I go to share, Minecraft's not coming up in the options. Maybe I'll close it, Minecraft, and open it again. But it won't, yeah, it's something very hinky going on here. Because I can't see Kirsty's slides when she was doing hers either, so. Okay.
Maybe need to restart your laptop.
I hope not. Okay. I've never had this, and we run this session, you know, we've run this session so many times. So, okay, I'm in share. And I'm still not seeing Minecraft. What I might do, Kirsty, can I hand over to you to share yours while I restart and come back in?
So you want me to share my slides?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, everybody. It's just like there's nothing, I can't get it to display my screen. I'll come back.
Okay, so my name's Kirsty. I'm a digital technologies specialist teacher at Wallen Primary School, and my kids are just obsessed with 3 to 6. So I've been doing lots of coding with my grade 6s this year. So I'm just going to run through with you some of the different tools that Minecraft has to get you started with coding. And just to let you know, this time last year, I had never played Minecraft before. Never mind coding, all the rest. I hadn't done any of it. So I have learned this all alongside the kids, which means that you can too. So I'll just skip through. So the first thing we did is we started off with the code builder tutorial, and I've put at the top how to get there in case you've not seen it before. You go into the library section, additional tutorials, and there's a code builder tutorial, which it's like a world that you just explore, and you can see over here on the left there's you just basically code your agent to move, and they have to land on the pressure plates. So you can see the gold pressure plates here. So it's just moving forwards, then moving left and right. Then they have to move up and down through this maze and get to the pressure plate on the other side. And then it moves on to more difficult things. You can see down at the bottom, they have to mine and collect different blocks using the agent. And then they have to till the soil and plant seeds and actually grow food. And so the challenges move on and get harder and harder. So that was a great way to just introduce coding with my students, and some of them just whizzed through it. Some of them it took a little bit longer to get on it, and I kind of did it alongside them, so we figured it out together. So it was great for me as well. From there, we moved on to Minecraft Code Town, which is library lessons, computer science, and hour of code. And you find Minecraft Code Town, and I'm going to show you some sample activities that they can do in there. There's maybe 9 different coding activities for them to complete, and there's a range of difficulties. And so it's very much just the same. They just explore, they find one that kind of fits the level that they feel they're at. And what I really love about it is when they get into the coding, it only gives them the blocks they need. I find lots of coding apps and things supply you with all the blocks, and you just get so overwhelmed and you're not sure how to get through it. So what I love is they just show them the code blocks that they need. So for example, the agent needs to move forward here, turn right again, and land on the pressure plate to open up the chest, and that will give them the tool that they need. So you can see they've just got these simple code blocks here, and they can refine their code using a loop if they feel like they can do that. But if not, they could just use very basic forward. Here's another one, gets a little bit more advanced. You have to get your agent to the top of the stairs. There's a pressure plate at the top of the stairs which will open the door so that you can get inside. And again, very similar code blocks, and they can just use a loop to get your agent up to the top. And each time they complete an activity, it gives them a jigsaw piece. and at the beginning of the activity, there's a jigsaw for them to complete. So each one they get a jigsaw piece and they have to add it on, and it creates a picture at the end. So it's kind of like a little motivation tool to get them to complete all of the activities. And then this one's a bit more advanced. So this one uses a conditional. So you can see the agent starts down here, and you have to code him to walk forward, and while he doesn't detect any blocks in front of him, he keeps walking forward, and then you need to tell him to turn right and repeat that until he reaches the pressure plate in the middle. So that's a bit more advanced. So while my students were exploring this world and completing activities, I was pulling them down and doing differentiated activities on the carpet. So this was the one I did with like my top level coders in the class, and then obviously the less advanced coding were for the other two groups. So that was a great tool for them to kind of feel like they could achieve something by themselves, and I could also do some teaching points on the carpet. From there, we've moved on to the coding fundamentals, which is in similar area, library lessons, computer science, and block-based coding. And you can see there are 5 different courses that they can do. We have completed Coding Fundamentals 1, which has 6 lessons inside it. So that's what we've been working on this term. You can see, again, it starts from the very, very basics. So you have to code your agent to walk forward 3 steps, land on the pressure plate. And you can see here at the top of the code, it tells them exactly what they have to do. It's very, very clear with the instructions of, you need to select this piece of code, you need to name it, you need to choose this block and move it into the piece of code, and press play. And you can see here there's a little light bulb, and that gives them a hint. So if they're struggling with it, they can press the little light bulb and it shows them a little picture of what their code should look like to kind of give them a little hint of how to complete it. As they move along, the instructions get a little less detailed, in the hope that they would already have some prior knowledge. So lesson 1's just very basic, moving forwards, left and right. I've skipped through to lesson 3. It gets a little bit more advanced. You need to use loops the agent has to free the turtles. So he has to get through all the challenges and clear all this trash off the beach. So he has to smash it and collect it all. And once he completes it, all of these little turtle eggs all hatch and all the turtles run down to the sea. It's really cute. You can see the code has got a little bit more advanced. So they've got loops, they've got destroy and collect, as well as moving forwards, left and right. So they need to think a bit more logically about how to complete the activity. Skipped on to lesson 5, which is much more advanced. So by the time we get to lesson 5, the students are using nested loops and conditionals. So you can see here, I've clicked on the hint to show you kind of what it looks like. The agent needs to clear all of this grass, and it's 8 blocks deep and 16 rows wide. So it's quite advanced coding, and I found even my top coders really had to step this out. So they had to walk around the classroom and try and pretend to be the agent themselves and step out the code to try and figure out whether they had to turn right or left and how to complete each row. And this is also from lesson 5. There's one where they have to use this conditional where the agent does not detect a block in front. He keeps moving forward until he bumps into something, and it's put the map of the area on there. So your agent starts here. He moves forward until he bumps into this rock, and then he stops, and you have to tell him to turn left. So you can see the code there on the right hand side. He keeps walking until he bumps into the next obstacle. Then you have to tell him to turn right, etc., until he gets to the pressure plate. Session 6 of the coding fundamentals is like a free, there's not certain they have to complete. It's like a summary of all of them. So it's a great assessment tool where they show you everything they've learned. So there's some basic challenges and some more difficult challenges where they have to use these conditionals and nested loops to complete them. So it was a great one for me to kind of assess for their reports, everything that they'd learned. And then, last but not least, we started our next bit of work today, where I have given them a piece of code that I've built in Code Builder, and they actually had to physically build it. So you can see here, they've got a little Lego person who's their agent, and they're moving him forward, and they're building it all out of Lego. And then they had to go into Minecraft and put the code into the Code Builder and press play and see if their creation that they built was exactly the same as what the agent built, which they loved this today. They were so excited about it. And then next week, they're going to challenge each other. So one person's going to build a structure in Lego, and the other person has to write the code to replicate it in Minecraft. So that's kind of where we're going to work on that for the next few weeks up until the end of term. And that's all from me. I'm not sure how to stop sharing. Oh, here we go. I think I'm back. I can't hear you, Bron.
Sorry, I was muted while you were talking. Thanks so much. That was fantastic. I love that last exercise particularly. That looks like I want to play that.
Yeah, I love it too.
They loved it.
Looks like so much fun. Well, that's the trajectory you're looking for. That's the path you want to go on. You're not there yet. We're starting with 101 tonight, but it doesn't take that long. And Kirsty's in our community. She's been a great supporter of other people doing things with coding and a leader in the space. So she's around to ask if you get stuck. Now, fingers crossed now that this is going to behave itself, and let me access Minecraft. And I am still not seeing Minecraft in the share. That is so bizarre. I can see PowerPoints and Google, but not the Minecraft app. It is not coming up. All right. I'm going to do it. You won't be able to see the screens, but I'll step you through it if needs be while I sort that out. Before this, I couldn't see Kirsty's screens. Now I can, but I totally restarted my machine and I'm still not getting my Minecraft up.
Ron, do you want me to share my Minecraft, and at least I'll just follow the steps that you explain?
Yeah, that's the way to go then.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to go into play. We might need everyone to mute while this is happening. It's because I'm getting a really loud hum. Is everyone else hearing that?
Yes, it sounds like someone's computer's struggling.
There's a hum going on. Yeah, it stopped, whatever that was. Okay, so let's try this relayed work. So we're going from our opening screen. We're going to click play and go into our normal space. And we're going to create a new world for our coding exercises. So we want to go create new. Is everyone seeing Kirsty's presentation now? Kirsty's screen in Minecraft? Yep, presuming so. I can't see. Let me see if I can minimize this so I can still see everything else. And still see the chat if people need help. Okay, right, so we're going to create new. We're going to create a new world. So you go to new, and then you get all the options that you need. So name your world something to do with coding, because this is going to be your practice space for doing coding. So I'm just calling mine Coding 101. And the default you'll see is survival. Well, we don't want that. We want to go into creative. So change the option there to creative in default game mode. Then scroll down and you'll see world type, and we want to make it flat. We want a flat world, so we don't want any terrain in the way. I want you to scroll down again, and I want you to click show coordinates, because the coordinates will be important to what we're doing in the world. And you might want to click always day as well when you go down, because nighttime just gets to be annoying when you're building in the world. And then you want to just come across and click play. You're not hosting the world, you're just creating an individual play context for learning to code. Now, the very first thing you'll notice, and it depends what device you're on, but when you're in the world, you're nearly always default what's called first person view. So you're looking through the eyes of your avatar or your skin. And for some of the things you're going to do in terms of coding, you may want to have a different perspective. So depending on what machine you're on, you want to do function F5 to change your perspective. So if I'm on the Mac, so I'm just doing the function key and it brings up the F5, and you'll see that changes from first person view to third person view. So you're looking at the back of yourself. And then if you hit it again, you're looking at yourself turned around, and the actual walk and keys will be in reverse because you're walking towards yourself.
And how do you do that on an iPad?
I'm not sure what serves as a function key on the iPad.
There's none. It's just all touchscreen.
Yeah.
I'm searching just now. I'm more familiar with PC, but I can't see anything on the iPad to change the view.
Yeah.
There will be a way, but I don't know what's the equivalent to function keys.
You just go to settings, so press the pause button, go to settings, and then in view there somewhere, I think you can just change it from first person to third.
Yeah. So it's in settings, and then under video, and then camera perspective, you can change first person, third.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned something then. Okay, now that's useful. It's useful if you want to take a screenshot of yourself with your build. It's useful if you want to do a whole lot of different things. But it's useful when you're coding because you want to be able to see some of the impact you're going to make. Now, one of the other things that if you've attended the other sessions, you knew this, but you may not know. So we want to check it up just before we move on. If you hit the T on the keyboard, you should bring up the chat or command window for Minecraft. Now, it's important that you know how to access that because you need to use that when you want to run code in the world. So the T actually brings up the chat window, and that's also where any commands you're going to make will happen. And to close that, you should just, if you're on a laptop or desktop, you're just hitting the return key or the enter key to make it disappear. So those are a couple of things that are important: changing your camera view and being able to open and close the chat. Now, the first thing you need to be able to do is open the coding space. And that's simply done by hitting the C key for code on your device. And that should open the code builder. And you should see something that says Code Builder at the top, My Projects. So it's going to save any projects you work on, and then Tutorials, Superpowers, and so on. So you should see all of those below that. I'm hoping everyone's okay with all of that.
Yep. Do you know where to find that on an iPad? I've got the chat command, but not the code.
I just popped it into the chat in the meeting. So at the top of your iPad screen, you should see a little icon. Like there's a speech bubble, there's a pause, and then there's an icon for the code builder.
Oh, yeah. It's the agent picture.
Okay, thank you.
It's asking me which editor to use.
The first one, which is make code.
Make code.
I actually don't have it. We've got two of us in the room. One of us has it and one of us doesn't. Do you know why that might be? We're both on iPads.
I don't know. What, are you both running the same version of Minecraft?
Yeah.
In the settings of your world, you can have Code Builder on or off.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Ah, right. Yeah, yeah. Go back to your settings for the world and just check it's not turned off.
Yeah, it is turned off, but it won't allow me to turn it on.
Oh, we'll just start another world and turn it on when you come back in. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, wait a minute. I'm just looking at Kirsty's screen, so we've got everything we want up. So you'll see my projects and so on. We'll just give everyone a minute to be on the same page. So the tutorial list is really very, very helpful, and you can work through this at your own pace. We're going to do a couple of really quick things that will just show you how you impact what's happening in the world. And thanks to everyone. This is a lovely community helping each other solve problems, because I don't do any of this on an iPad. I'm sorry that I'm less iPad literate than I should be. And the same for your students that have all their projects saved. Are we all back in now?
With Code Builder. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're going to do Chicken Rain, which is the very first one, which is really funny. And this is, I think, if you were going to infect other teachers in your school with a love of coding, Chicken Rain is a really fun one to do. So you're going to click on Chicken Rain, and you'll see you then have three kind of blocks there to choose from. So you've got blocks, Python or JavaScript. So you could be coding in any one of those three. And some people who've done coding with, say, Scratch or other things where they've done block coding are ready to start doing more significant actual text code. And so you do have that option to do Python or JavaScript if you wanted to. But we're going to stick to blocks for our 101. So you're going to click on Blocks, Start Tutorial, and you'll see that little character you saw on screen. That's the agent. So anywhere you see that character, that's you're operating with the agent or operating on coding. And so Chicken Rain, we're going to make it rain lots of chickens. And you'll see these tutorials all follow the same pattern. So what we learn in these first couple will apply to all of them. And pretty soon you'll be coding up a storm like Kirsty was showing you. So click on Start. And then you'll see in the Code Builder window that you have a piece of text on the top that says put an on-chat command and rename it to chicken. Now you'll see on-chat command is blue. Now that's an indicator to which set of commands it comes out of. And so it comes out of player or mobs or loops or whatever. The color is significant. So when you read those hints, make sure you pay attention to the color that the text is blocked in the sentence. So that's telling us on the on-chat command, which you should see on your right of screen, which says on-chat command run, something's going to happen. It wants you to change run to chicken. So you're going to click on the word run and change it to chicken. So you have now on-chat command chicken. So you've completed that. And you want to click now the right arrow to see the next step. If you went moused over the hint, it will give you a hint to see what you needed to complete. So click the next arrow and you'll see it says put in spawn to spawn a chicken at your position. And you'll see spawn is purple. Well, purple's not on screen, but on the left you'll see mobs, and that just means moving living things. Monsters, whatever.
Sorry, could you just pause for a little sec? I've accidentally closed the coding thing, so I just got to get it back open. Sorry.
No problem. So you'll see the color is significant. On the left, you'll see the purple for mobs, and we're going to look for that. And it should automatically bring up the thing we're going to use. And we'll just wait for everyone to be on the same place, and I'll just check the chat while I'm here.
Cool. I just got back to where I need to be.
Good comment, Janine, to know that kids who know Scratch will recognise the colour used in the coding. Thank you, Kirsty, for helping. Okay, so you're just going to grab that spawn animal and drag it onto your coding field. So from the menu, that when it comes up, you're just going to drag it to the right or left, wherever it needs to go, to put it on your coding field. And then you're going to drop it inside that on chat. command chicken. You're going to drop it in there. Now, you may have to move things about on the screen to make them fit. Don't panic about that. So now you should have on chat command chicken spawn an animal at 0, 0, 0. So you've dragged the purple inside the blue. Yep. Is everyone with us?
Yep.
You can have mics on, scream out if you're not. So you're going to change animal now to chicken. So you want, the very first thing is a chicken egg. So you want to make sure you've got the chicken egg. If you want to spawn something else, you can. Or if you want to be, you know, this is about making mischief. So you don't have to spawn a chicken. You can spawn something else. You can make it rain other things. All right, so we've completed that. So now we've got our pieces of code on chat command chicken, spawn a chicken at 0, 0, 0. And then click the next command to see what the next thing it wants us to do. It says now change the spawn position to 10 blocks above your player. So the middle number is the height. So you need to change your command from 0, 0, 0 to 0, 10, 0. So that means it's coordinate to the player. So 0, 0, 0 is the position the player is in.
So can I just confirm each unit, so each value is 1 block? So if I was to 0, 1, 0 would be 1 block above my player?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, we're good with that?
Okay, so I got confused when you were saying the next arrow. I kept hitting the green button that's a big arrow in the bottom. Okay, and that's obviously why I keep closing it.
That just you just have to hit the C key again and it'll bring it back up.
Okay, thank you.
The big green one is when you want to test your code, because coding is a really iterative process. You do a bit, you test it, you do a bit, you test it.
Okay,
so
we can
test this now. We can test this now, and what we should see is a chicken should fall. It may take a few seconds, but a chicken should fall from the sky. Okay. If you hit C again, that will bring your code back up. So the green arrow is to go back to the world to test what you're doing. On the chat command chicken, we should see a chicken fall from the sky. So you go back, you need the T to bring up the code, the command line, and you then need to type chicken because that's the name of our routine that we've created. And when you hit return on chicken, the chicken's going to fall out of the sky. And let's give us a yes if your chicken fell out of the sky, or if you want me to repeat that. You can say no in the chat if you want me to repeat it, or yes if you're good. Okay, so Brian's got a chicken.
Yeah, I've done everything that you did, but I'm on an iPad and I can't see my chicken falling.
Okay, so you got your code right.
Yep.
You closed it.
Yep.
You hit T to open the chat line.
Well, I hit the speech bubble, which is the chat on an iPad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wrote chicken.
In front of your face.
Yep.
As long as your command was still called chicken.
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
Right in front of you.
Yeah. If you write chicken, then you should see one chicken fall from the sky.
And really fast.
Got no bloody chicken.
I've got a
No
panda.
chickens. This is bad. We love chickens. Okay, go back to the
Ah,
code.
it's under me. I've got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
See, computers are really dumb. They only know what you tell them to do. So that's why the logic of coding is really important for kids to learn. It's the logic of it that will save them. So iterate, test is the way to go. All right, so you've got one. Everyone got one chicken. We're good?
I've got a
I changed it to a cat, and a cat fell out of the sky.
Excellent. There's always one rebel who doesn't want to be a chicken. Excellent. So cats can fall out. You can make it rain cats. You can rain cats and dogs even. You could add
dragons.
You could have anything you want.
I'm having dragons.
Okay, let's go back to the code. But you'll have to change the name so you remember. Always be logical. Keep the naming, the nomenclature of your things correct. Let's go back to the code, and we should be still on change the spawn position to 10. Let's click the little arrow next to the code advice, the orange arrow, not the big green one, the orange arrow, and then see what our next step is. And it should say, press the T. Well, we've done that. We're advanced beyond this. Okay, so the chicken is lonely. Place a repeat loop around the spawn to create 100 chickens. Okay, so what color is repeat? It's green. So we want to go to green, which is the loops. So repeating something is a loop. Go to the loops thing and you'll see it says repeat 4 times. Drag that onto your coding field. And where do you want to put it? You want to put it around the spawn part. So you want to drag it so it says on chat command chicken, dragon, cat, whatever it is you've chosen to spawn. Repeat, and this already says repeat 4 times, spawn animal chicken at 0, 10, 0. Okay, we don't want it to do it 4 times. How many times do we want to do it? We want to do it 100 times. So it's now on chat command chicken, repeat 100 times, do spawn chicken at 0, 10, 0. Okay, let's go test it. Click on the big green arrow and be prepared. Make sure you're in, I think third person view facing you is kind of cool to watch this. So use your F5s and get that happening. Go in, hit the T key to bring up the command line and run your script called chicken, dragon, whatever it was, and then see the avalanche of critters that descend upon you. How do we all go?
Can you just give me a sec? I'm just fiddling with coordinates.
Yeah.
I got a swarm of bees and it was cool.
Excellent. So you can see you can modify this as much as you like. You can have them come from higher. You can look up, get your avatar, your skin to look up ready to see them falling on you because they're all falling directly onto you and then dispersing from that point. So now your world is full of something. It's sheep or dragons or bees and every time you ran that code, another 100 of them would appear. Are we good? Okay, so we're going back to the code. So C again to bring up our code window, and let's hit the orange arrow again to see what it requires of us. And it says we're finished. Bravo, you have completed your very first piece of coding in Minecraft. So that wasn't very hard, was it? And it was very fun. So you want to click finish. You've now finished raining chickens. And you'll see it should take you back to your code space. But on the left, you'll see a little house. That's return to the tutorials. So where you see the little house, now we've finished that piece of code, we're going to return to our tutorials and we're going to try a new one. All right, this time we're going flower trail. So we're going to, again, use our blocks and follow the code to create a trail of flowers when our skin moves around in the world. So we should be able to do this one quite quickly. So it says, leave a trail of flowers everywhere you go. And again, this would be important to be in a view other than first person, because if you're in first person, you can't see easily see what's happening behind you. But if you go into third person view where you're looking at your back, you'll be able to see this better. Okay, so click start and you'll see it says get on player walk and put it into the workspace. So on player walk is blue. So I'm going to blue, which is player. So this is something that acts on the player. And I'm going to drag on player walk into the workspace, walking and working. Yeah. So I've dragged it onto my workspace. Just drop it onto the workspace, doesn't matter where. And you'll see on player walk, you could have swim, fly, you could do lots of other things. But we're going to do this with walk because we want to plant flowers as we go. So we've done on player walk, and let's see what it wants us to do next. Get place and put it inside on player walk. Well, place is green, so let's go to blocks. And we want to grab that place and drag it onto our workspace and pop it inside on player walk. And right now it says on player walk, place grass at 0, 0, 0. And so everyone with me? Yep. Okay, so we're moving on to the next, click the next orange arrow. Okay. Let's, before that, change the place from green grass blocks to a flower. So you click on the little divot next to it and go scroll down till you see some flowers. Choose your favorite. It doesn't have to be whatever the suggested flower is. It might be whatever you want. A white tulip or a dandelion or a lily of the valley. So scroll down, find your favorite flower. I like daisies. And we're good. And let's grab another place. And we're going to put more than one flower as we walk. So we're jumping some steps here because we want to have impact. So I've got a daisy and I've grabbed another place and I'm going to leave, what would I like? I'm going to leave some poppies where I go. So we've got now on player walk place, and I've chosen daisies at 0, 0, 0 and a place poppies at 0, 0, 0. Well, let's test what that looks like. So clicking on your green start, now you want to move your skin. So using your WASDs, you should see as you walk around the world, you're now leaving flowers behind you. You're planting flowers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone planting flowers?
Yep, it's working for me.
Sing out if you shout out if you're not, if you need us to slow down or help. Okay, going back to the C to bring our code back up. And let's see what the next step is, because it's going to want us to create a better pattern for our flower. Okay, turn around and look at your flower trail. We've done that. Okay, now that's nice, but wouldn't it be fun to place a whole bouquet while you walk? So we've got multiple flowers. We can click through this and go to the last line where it says in the first place, change the first 0 for the position to 1. So we're going to change where it places each of our daisies. So, or flower, whatever it is. I'm going to place my daisies at 1, 0, 0. And I'm going to place my poppies at 0, 0, -1, 0, 0. Now that should place a poppy to my left and a poppy to my, a flower to my left and a flower to my right as I walk. So let's test that. If you've put those, change those numbers, test it, go in and now move. And when you walk, you should see the flowers appearing left and right of each other. If you want to see that be more radical, you can make the numbers broader. But if you look back, you should see 2 rows of flowers. So jump back to the code. And you can pull in some more. You could make 5 rows of flowers by putting multiple levels of place. So that's just on player walk, placing things. So that could be placing blocks to build a wall. It could be doing a whole lot of different things. Is everyone cool with that? Okie doke. Let's finish flowers and do something even cooler and more mischievous. So click on finish. You've clicked through to the end, click the orange finish button, go back to the home button to bring up the tutorials. And we're going to jump across in the tutorials now to the tutorial. Sorry, mine's off screen a bit here. Billboard. So jump across now to billboard. So it's between compass rose and something forward. So yeah. So go to billboard and click on that. And let's do that tutorial. And jump onto blocks. Okay. Want to use big words? Let's make a billboard. Okay, so click on start. And you'll see now on chat command run, it wants us to rename it to print. So you're changing the name run to print. So on chat command print, we're going to do something. Click the right orange arrow and it says place a print inside on chat command and use your name as the text. So go into blocks because print is green. We're going to the green blocks and you'll see there's a whole slew of text there for us to grab. So it says print hello of green blocks at 000 along west negative. Grab that and pop it into your on chat command. Drop it onto the field if you want, onto your work area, and then drop it into your on chat command print. Now I'm going to jump past hello, and I'm going to get you to write your name. So put your name in where it says hello. Instead of hello, you're going to print your name. And you're going to change the grass blocks to TNT. Now you can just go to the top and search TNT. I use the search. I can't remember where things go. I'm too old. So you go in there, grab your TNT in place of green blocks. So now you're going to print your name in the world using, and use uppercase when you write your name because it actually will be easier to distinguish. You're going to print your name in TNT. Okay, we're going to go test that. Remember the command to make it happen is print. But before we do that, you may want to move your avatar out of the field of flowers you created just so you've got some bare space. And now you're going to hit the T to bring up the command line and type the command print because that's the name of the routine we've created. The coding routine is called print. And you'll see you might black out yourself. You'll have to move a little bit maybe to see it in the world. You should see, if you move around, that you've now created your name in TNT in the world. And if you go and stand in front of it, change your perspective so you're facing out. Take a screenshot of yourself and your name in the world because we can share these in our community. So I'm just grabbing a screenshot there of Bronwyn and Bronwyn's avatar. Okay, who's having fun? I hope you all are.
I made mine out of lapis lazuli.
Excellent. Very attractive.
Sorry, I must have been not paying attention. So whereabouts am I doing the coding for this one?
Okay, hit your C
Yep.
to bring your chat window up. You want to, are you in the tutorial list?
Yes.
Go to the tutorial that says billboard.
I can't see it. That's I think my problem.
There's an arrow on the right. It's very faint. There's like many more tutorials.
Oh, I see. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that stumped me the first time.
Okay, I'm there and I'm right now. Thank you so much.
Okay, not a problem. Anybody else need help? Okay, so you're going to just follow those quick commands, and we're not going to use hello. We're going to put our name in to change it, and you pretty much finish that piece of coding. So you can make a billboard with loads of fun things in the world. We jumped through a few steps there. You can click through to finish, and just take a screen capture, and let's share those in the community later on. Does everyone okay if we go a few minutes over time? Just because we had that glitch at the beginning, I just want you to try a few other things.
I may have to duck out for an appointment, but that's okay. I just uploaded my billboard in the chat there, so.
Cool. Yeah, share your billboard in the chat if you've got yours to share. I'll share mine while we're waiting for everyone to make sure everyone's got theirs. That's just using the attach in Teams. Attach and upload your screen capture.
Ron, I don't know why, but it's telling me that chat is only available to the team members. Maybe I'm not signed in.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that happens when you're not signed in to the department.
Yeah, I'll have to sign it because I just downloaded the app to access the meeting. It's maybe not signed me in. That's all.
I'm the same.
Well, never mind. You can upload it later.
I actually don't have my appointment till 6, so I can stay. That was lucky. I thought it was 5 till 6, but it's 6 till 7.
Okay, so we finished that bit of code. We've built things in the world. We've made things happen. Now we're going to learn about controlling our agent. So you want to click on the home button to take you back to the tutorial list. And you might want to move to an empty space again in the world. But we're going to start into a new tutorial, and you'll see that above, you'll see my projects. It's remembered the things you've done. So it's remembered Flower Trail and Billboard and Chicken Rain. So you'll see your list is growing of the projects that you've created. And if you come back to them, they'll be there at any time. So if you get partway through, you'll see how many components it had, 4 of 4 or 9 of 9. If you've only done 7 of 9, you can come back and it will remember that where you've got to pick up from on your 7 of 9. All right, so now we're going to go to some things that act on the agent itself. And we're going to do agent moves. So if you scroll across with that little almost invisible green arrow on the right of your list of tutorials, you want to do agent moves. And again, we're doing blocks, but we could be doing Python or JavaScript. So exactly the same thing. And at different times, you could swap over and have a look what the JavaScript looks like for your coding. Okay, so this tutorial is going to get us to command our little agent to move. And because we're encoding, the agent is already in the world, but we're going to have to get the agent to operate for us. So we're going to command this little minion to do things we want. So if you've clicked on command agent move, you'll see it says insert an on chat command and rename it to TP, which is short for teleport. So you want to change run to TP. So on chat, TP, teleport. So we're not doing it on start, would be when the world opens. On chat is when the chat command is given. So when the chat command TP is given, you're going to teleport the agent. So let's check the next thing we need to do. It says put agent teleport to player inside the on chat command. So you can see agent teleport to player is red. So we're going to go to the red menu item, agent. And we'll see agent teleport to player is the very first thing in the list. But we could also have agent turn left, agent turn right. We're going to do some things with that in a minute. Let's just get the agent to teleport to the player. Now that means wherever you are in the world, the agent could have been left somewhere. To start doing something, you need the agent to come to you. So it's like whistling your sheepdog to come to you straight off to start. All right, so we've got on chat command TP, agent teleport to player. And then we want to go into the chat. So click on the green and white arrow. Let's go into the world. Hit T to bring up the command line, and then TP, which was our teleport command. And you should see a funny little character come up and stand behind you. You may have to turn around a little bit or change your camera view to see that's the agent. And it will have, you'll see it says its name. So mine says bronze agent. Your little minion who's going to do your bidding. All right, if everyone's got that, and don't be shy to call out if you haven't. We can wait. All right, go back to our coding and let's see what it wants us to do next. We're clicking on the orange arrow to the right because we've got that successful. What does it want us to do now? It says put another on chat command and rename it FD. Place an agent move to move the agent forward by 5 blocks. So we have to go to the blue and get another on chat command and put it in the world. Just drop it. Don't put it inside what you've done. Just drop it into your workspace. And we want to change and rename it FD. Forward. So FD for forward. And then we want to move it forward, agent move by 5 blocks. So go to the red again. And you're going to grab agent move, not agent teleport to player, but the second thing, agent move, and drop that into your on chat command. And then change agent move forward by, and change the number to 5. So now we've got on chat command FD, agent move forward by 5. So we're all good with that. Okay, so if we go back into our world now and we type, if we do T to bring up the command line and we type FD for forward, we should see our little agent move forward by 5 spaces away from you. And what do you want to do if you want to bring him back? You're going to type what?
TP.
Right. You need your TP, teleport. So that's your 2 commands that you've done so far. TP and FD to move him away 5 blocks.
Is the command in the chat case sensitive? So if you did like capital T, capital P, it would affect its working, or?
I'm just testing. I don't think it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Cool. That's actually probably a good lesson for the kids.
Yeah. Yes, it is case sensitive. Good question. All right, so we can send and you could send him a further 5 and a further 5 and a further 5 if you kept running it over. And then you want to bring him back, you're just doing your TP. All right, so let's go back to our code and see what it wants us to do next. Right, so go to Minecraft, we've done that. Put in a new LT command for agent turn. All right, so let's see how we're going to do that. We're going to go, it's red, agent turn. So grab the red and you'll see agent turn left, drag it into your field and you're going to drop it, agent move forward by 5, agent turn left, and drop it into there. Or actually, no, it wants us to do a new command, but let's not. Let's just drop it into our FD, because now we're going to have FD is going to be go forward, turn left. So you should have agent move forward by 5, agent turn left. And what would it draw if you did that 4 times?
Square.
Yes. Okay, let's go test it. So we're still keeping with our forward command. And you should have seen he moved forward and turned left. All right, let's jump back into the coding. And I'm just going to jump through this because I think you got the hang of turn left and turn right. So we could have an LT or an RT. We could make you could call it, if you did it 4 times, repeat it 4 times, it could make a square. Let's just finish that because we want to jump just quickly to the last little piece of coding we're going to do. And go back to our home, and the tutorial we want to run now is the one to the right of that, which is agent build. So we've learned how to move our agent in the world, forward, turn left, come back to us, and so on. Now we're going to get the agent to build something in the world. And you saw a whole lot of that in the ones Kirsty showed you, and a lot of the projects you could be building like that. And I love that idea of create it in Lego and then see if you can write the code to do it. So very cool. So the agent can build things for you in the world. So you can command it to build a home. In fact, there's groups of university people using Minecraft for artificial intelligence, seeing if you can program an agent who will survive the night. So it has to learn how to survive, how to build a house and survive the night. So you can take this as far as you want to go in terms of coding. There's a project called Project Malmo that Microsoft has, where the agent has to learn to play a game in the world. And the game has all these different variables and it's different every time you play, but the AI has to learn how to do it. And that's a post-graduate level study in Minecraft. So let's go and start that. So once it says we're going to start with agent teleport to player. So we have to go get that because we always want our agent to come back to us, and drag that onto your field. And we're going to equip him with some blocks. So we're going to drop agent teleport to player on our on-chat command. So drop it in there. And let's go to the next thing it wants us to do. So now it says add new chat command PD for pen down. So we want to change run to PD. Or actually, no, we want a new chat command. So go to the blue, get an on chat command and drag it in, because we'll leave our agent teleport to player. We don't always want him to come back to us necessarily. On chat command, and change that one to PD. Okay, and place an agent move. So go and grab your agent on move. Agent place on move, false or true. You want to grab that and drop it in. So we've got on chat command PD for pen down, agent place on move, and we're going to change that. Now, false means it doesn't drop anything, and we're going to tell it something different in a sec. So let's click on the next line and see what it wants us to do. Your agent needs blocks in its inventory to build. And so a chat command RL for reload that adds blocks to the inventory is needed. So put some sandstone blocks in slot 1. So go back into your game. So you're going back into Minecraft for now, and you'll see your slots at the bottom. These are your inventory available, your available inventory for play. And you've probably got nothing but a highlighted slot 1. So click on E to open your inventory. And what did it ask us for? Sandstone. So go and just search sandstone. Find some sandstone blocks. Any kind of sandstone you want. And drag it down. It should drag 64 down into your inventory. So to build, your agent has to have resources. That makes sense. So drag your things in, close that, go back to your code. Now you should see a sandstone block in slot 1 of your resource list. Hit C again. Okay, so we've covered that. And we want to create an on chat command. So we're going to the blue. On chat command, drag that down. This is going to start to look complicated, but believe me, it's nice. So now we want an RL for reload. So that adds blocks to the inventory. So you can put some in, and this can add.
Ron, this piece of code actually adds the block for agent's inventory.
Okay.
So not yours. So then if you right click on your agent,
yeah,
you'll see it in his inventory.
Okay. All right, are we all together?
Yep, I went ahead a little bit, so I'm battling with the square, which is in the next part.
Okay. Everyone good? I'm not hearing so.
Okay, so go into Minecraft, press T to open the chat. Yeah. RL to load blocks. Okay, go RL. Oh no, RL.
So where's the load blocks? Sorry, Kirsty, I've dropped a step there. We've called it RL, on chat command RL.
Sorry, Kirsty, I think you're talking and you're on mute.
Sorry, I've been chatting for ages. Yeah, so you need an on-chat command RL block, and then in the orange section for the agent, there's one called agent set block or item, count 1 in slot 1. So you need to give him the sandstone count 64 in slot 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 7th block down in the agent section.
So the very bottom. So drop that in, yeah. So agent set block or item, right.
So you have to change that to sandstone?
Sandstone, yeah. Sorry, I'm misleading people. All right, choose your sandstone and everyone's good? In slot 1. So we're good, move on. Add a chat command forward that moves the agent by 4 blocks. So that's easy. You're dragging another on chat, which is the blue, on chat into the field area, on chat, and we're doing FD, forward. And we want it to move, which is moving the agent. So grabbing the second one, agent move forward by, and drop that in, and we're changing it to 3.
So I got to the part where I had put in all my square moves and everything, but he is walking in the square but not building anything. So there's obviously an error in my code.
Okay. Well, we'll troubleshoot that. Why don't you screen capture your code and put it up in the chat, and let's see if we can decode it, deconstruct it to see what's wrong.
You need to make sure you've moved your agent to a new spot each time. So, because if there's already a block where he's trying to build,
place it, yes,
you won't be able to place. I got that first time, and then I moved away and teleported him over to me. And now I think I must have missed the part where I reload his inventory or something, I think. Yeah, you need to make sure he has 64 blocks in slot 1. It defaults to give him just 1 block, so you need to make sure you've typed 64 in there.
So that's in your on chat command RL.
Yep.
Set block sandstone count 64. No.
Yep. 64 in slot 1.
Slot 1. Yeah. So that's the same as for your own, where we drop them into the slot. This is dropping them into the slot for the agent. Okay, we're going to run each of those separate pieces of code. So we're going to start with going to RL, then PD, then FD, and continue those commands to see what we get. So we've got RL is on chat command RL, agent set block or item. So the agent's getting some things in its inventory. On PD, it's going to place on move. And didn't we have to change that to true?
Yes.
So make sure your agent place on move says true. So that means yes, do it. And then finally, we're going to do FD, which moves the agent forward by 3. So RL, PD, FD, and let's see if we've got it right. So move to a space as that you've got clear in the world. Away from my TNT wall. All right. And you may want to teleport the agent to you first. So bring up your T and do TP. You want the agent to come to you. All right. So you should have your agent back, because otherwise he could be doing what you want him to do, but he's way off in the field. So the first command was RL, T, and do RL, which is loading the sandstone. And so everyone's with us on that. The next one is PD. So we're doing RL, then PD, then FD. RL, load T, do PD.
Oh, did I have to write PD before I type square? Because I didn't tell it to actually place anything, right?
Yep. You have to do PD
Well,
every time.
Okay, there you go. I figured it out.
Sorry about that.
No, all good. Totally me. Thank you.
No, I meant about the noise of the dogs who decided they had to have a big conniption. Okay, so then the third command was FD for forward. How'd we go?
Yep.
Now, how do you think you're going to make a square out of that? You have to think logically about what's going to happen there. Make sure you're if you rerun it, that you're actually out of the way of things, or that your agent isn't running into you. So you can retest it, run your RL, TP, or what was the second command? Sorry. PD, and then FD, yes. RL, run your PD. And then FD. Oh, we got an agent building in the world. You might have to help me out and talk, people.
We've had a couple of messages in the chat, Brian's managed to build his.
Great.
So Sarah. Brian's put some screenshots in there, which are really good. Kirsty, I think that Janine had a question for you earlier on in the chat. Janine, do you want to come off mute and ask Kirsty the question?
Yeah, cool. I put it in the chat, but I was kind of looking at, so I could see before when the students had their progress and their completion, how it would bring it up on the student's individual screen that they had, you know, so for example, 5 out of 5 completed. But can a teacher see that across a whole class?
Not that I know of. I've just kind of, I keep checklists of each of the grades that are doing it, and as I walk around, I see what I've what they've completed and I keep it on my checklist. But there, at the minute, there doesn't seem to be, like you would hope that that would be an option in classroom mode, that you could see the progress of each of your students, but it's not something that I have discovered yet. And you'll also find that in the coding fundamental tutorials that once they complete the challenge, there's no way of going back to show you it.
So the only way they could really do it is if they knew how to take a screenshot perhaps and show you or send it to you or something.
Yeah, so I've been doing that with the kids. I get them to take a screenshot of their code and I use Padlet.com. I don't know if you've used that before.
Yeah, I've used Padlet, but we have like I teach 7, so we have like different tasks and they have their name in there and that's what we use.
Yeah, so that they can just share a screenshot with you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Excellent. I'm going to leave the coding there because I just want to do a little wrap up, and you can solve the problem of how to create a square because you've got enough logic there now to follow the steps. Just remember to test as you go that each thing you're wanting to do is each step is working as you need it. I'm going to hope that this stupid screen share is going to share my PowerPoint. And are you seeing my PowerPoint now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okie doke. So we've been through most of this. And that was why you can see why you need to know how to change camera views. It's important when you're working in the world. Okay, so we've been through our tutorials and we've had a look at how to use the coding app. And you can explore that in your own time. That was just a summary for Kirsty, mega friend of the community. And we've done all of the tutorial steps that I wanted to do. But this is a video that I like the whole deconstruction idea, and I love what Kirsty did with build it in Lego and then have the kids mentally deconstruct the Lego to code it. So this video is the agent building something in the world. You guessing what it might be?
Well, it's a pyramid.
Yeah. Okay. So building and then say, okay, code what we just did. And this is a really nice exercise. A pyramid is a lot harder than you think because you have to move in and up as you build it. So it's a really nice challenge for kids to do. And if you want that video to use it, let me know and I'll email it to you so you can do it with your kids. Get them to deconstruct it and build it together. And we did this in a previous webinar earlier in the year, and Kirsty did this challenge, which is her own how did they do it challenge, which was to build a rainbow tower. So I'm throwing this out to you. You can either build a pyramid or build a rainbow tower, as Kirsty did, and then share it in the community space. And you'll see that it's in the cluster academies, or you can share it in the coding, Digitech and coding. But it's a really nice thing to try to deconstruct what that is and have your agent build it. The amount of skill that you have now, and experiment with it and get yourself into creating your own challenge. Again, if you can build a pyramid or build a rainbow tower, you may want to create your own challenge for everyone in the group to do. And it's a good thing to get kids to do. I love the deconstructing of ideas. So the logic they have to develop to work out, okay, it's got to do this, create a square, move up one space, change color of block, do that, and so on. Now, in the last little coding exercise, we had all of that in separate code commands. And if you moved into the last part of it to create a square, you would be collapsing all of that down into one command called square. And so that's pretty much what you're doing here, except changing colors and changing heights to carry it out. So you can either do the pyramid, build a pyramid, as this one does, or you could build the Rainbow Tower as your little challenge, your homework challenge to create in the world. And yeah, these are fun to create a video of it and then lay them down and say, okay, deconstruct the concept. How are you going to code this? All right, coming up is the hour of code. And not so much what's on the code.org website for Hour of Code, but within Minecraft itself is the new button. If you're using the new version, 1.14.50, you will see the new button on the interface when you come in for the Hour of Code. And the new challenges in there are a load of fun. You've got these two warring villagers who don't get on, and you're going to use code to help bring them together, to create peace and harmony in the land between the villagers and the illagers. And so it's a lot of fun. And you'll see if you go to that code.org, that code, Hour of Code button, there are 3 separate worlds that you can play in with your students to do coding. And they could be fun worlds to do as a shared world. So cool stuff. And I really recommend it, more so than the Hour of Code Minecraft material that is on code.org, because I think that's a little, it's a little twee for me. I think this is much better because they are actually creating the code, not just stepping through code. Something to consider for those of you who followed on this whole sequence of 5 beginner activities, you will now probably be at hour 10 of the 11 hours of the teacher pathway. I think the only thing we haven't covered in our beginner talks has been the science toolkit for chemistry. So I do encourage you to go through and do the quiz at the end of each module to see how far you've got towards completing your Minecraft certified teacher, because we have covered a lot of it, both in the community and discussions in the 5 webinars we've had. You should be able to step yourself through, and we'd love to be able to grant you your Minecraft certified teacher badge, which Lauren and I can do. So we would love to be able to do.
How do I get that? Because I got mine. I did the thing. I've got the certificate. Is that it? Like it just does it, or do you have to activate it?
No, we have to activate it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I've done it. Do I need to send you my certificate? Or
did you do it through the Minecraft? Did you do it through the Trainer Academy, Sarah?
Yeah, the Microsoft.
Yeah, so you should have a badge now on your profile, so that means you've got it.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
You're certified.
Oh, very fancy. Still can't build a portal in less than 5 weeks, but you know.
So what was that? Sorry about doing the rest of it to get the badge.
Yeah, so on the Microsoft Educator Centre, there's a learning pathway, so you can complete each of the courses, and at the end of that, you get a badge, so you become a Minecraft certified, I think it's educator. Yep. Through our webinar series that we've done so far, which you can find inside the team space, and we've covered most of these topics. So all you'd have to do is take the quiz at the end to get, if you wanted to go through the MEC. Otherwise, you could come to us and we can help you get the badge.
Yeah, that's cool. I kind of, yeah, as I said, I was just heard it, but I was interrupted. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
So we'd love to encourage you all to get it. You know, just it's a nice thing to have, and it means you know, all this time you've put in is accepted, respected. It could be something you want to add in your CV down the track, that you're a Minecraft certified educator. So 11 modules. There's a quiz in each module. Well, they call them courses. There's a quiz at the end of each course. And if you feel like reading the description, I know all that, go straight to the quiz and do it. The only one we haven't covered really any of the content is the science toolkit, which is like module 11. So
okay. You can go back from within the quiz to check your answers, not that you heard that from me. But if you don't know the answer, you can go back and check. It's like an open book quiz.
Yeah. All right. And so this is our last webinar for the year. But we will be, Lauren and I have decided to hold drop-in Wednesdays just for the next couple of weeks, where we'll be online. We'll send out a meeting link on Monday, and we'll be online on Wednesdays. So if you're working on a project, you want some help with something, something's not working, you want to brag about something fun that's happened this week, whatever, will be available in that hour between 4 to 5 on Wednesdays. So it's kind of like office hours time where you can drop in and have a little chat. I have a very fun story to tell you about our Connected Community project. It was supposed to go from Ruppanyup to Adrian Quirk's school this week, and Ruppanyup has had some technical problems, exactly what everyone else here was describing at the start of the session. And the kids were running out of time with the world that's been passing around. And Julie wrote to me and said, that she was having the problems. Adrian said, well, that's cool. I can hold off a little bit before I get it. So I wrote back to Julie, and she wrote back to me and said, Julie Powell, and said, you should have heard the cheer in the classroom. The kids are so excited. She said, I think before this they were planning a sleepover to get it done. Now, you're winning at school if the kids are planning a sleepover to complete a piece of curriculum activity. And I sent that back to Adrian, and he was so chuffed, and his kids were chuffed as well, so that's how much kids care about the things they're doing in Minecraft. And I just wanted to share that little story. That's my little buzz for the week, and having you guys learning to code. So I will stop sharing and just say mega thank you to Kirsty for stepping us through the code tonight. I have no this Teams is doing, but yes.
No worries.
Are there any questions?